Hello everyone, it's Tyler. Today I'm going to be talking about my experience with Zoloft and why I'm no longer taking it. For those of you who don't know, Zoloft is an SSRI antidepressant. I've been depressed, anxious, and have dealt with suicidal thoughts since I was 12 years old. I tried antidepressants for the first time when I was 20 years old, but they made me feel tired all the time and it was affecting my performance in school, so I quit taking them within a week. But 3 years later, when I'm 23, I decided to take Zoloft. I read that it would help with my OCD, and I was also hoping to cure my depression, so I got a prescription to Zoloft from my doctor. So the initial side effects I had were disturbing intrusive thoughts, insomnia, which I already had, but this is amplified to the point where I was sleeping like 2 to 3 hours a night. Sexual dysfunction, not erectile dysfunction. I could not ejaculate. It was next to impossible. Sometimes I could, but it was very difficult and frustrating as hell. The flatlined effect. So the flatlined effect is basically when you're at this level here, nothing upsets you. So like something really bad happens, like one of your family members die, you don't feel anything, or something really good happens in your life, you don't feel this high either. You just feel numb and you feel nothing, which is pretty weird. You feel like a robot, no emotions. So I was having a really hard time sleeping, that I would end up sleeping 2 to 3 hours a night. When it was time to get up for work, I was so exhausted that I'd end up late a lot. So me and my girlfriend at the time were arguing pretty often, so I broke up with her and she moved out. It took about a week for me to regret that decision, and I started missing her, but I didn't feel sad. I didn't feel anything but misery. I was stuck at work, barely making enough money to get by, and I hated my job. Suicidal thoughts were running through my mind constantly, on a loop, over and over again. I was having a hard time focusing at work because all I could think about was killing myself. I've dealt with suicidal thoughts before, but never like this, not to this extreme. I was no longer sad, I just hated my life. I could not stop thinking about suicide and planning on how I was going to do it. I updated my life insurance policy so that my roommate would be able to pay the rent without me. So I was actually taking action into making this happen. So every day at work I'm thinking to myself, I'm just gonna leave at lunch break and I'm gonna do this. But my friend would stop by my desk and I would end up not leaving. So a few weeks go by, I get into an argument with my boss and he tells me if I hate it here so much, why don't I quit? So that's what I did, I quit. So a few months go by, I'm living at my friend's house and I got a new job. Me and my girlfriend end up getting back together and I start tapering off my antidepressants. I take a little less each day for about 3 weeks until completely off them. After a few months, she breaks up with me and I feel really sad about it, but I'm not experiencing constant suicidal thoughts like the last time. That's how I know those effects were directly caused by the antidepressants. So this story takes place over the course of 7 months or so. I kept taking the antidepressants for so long because doctors kept telling me that it had to get worse before it would get better and then the side effects would subside. But the truth is that when I got off them, I was immediately better. I was depressed, but at least I wasn't constantly thinking about killing myself. So for anyone that's depressed, is dealing with suicidal thoughts, anxiety, OCD, any mental health issues, I highly recommend that you look into natural ways of treating it instead of antidepressants, or at least be aware of what the side effects might be, because when I was prescribed these drugs, they did not warn me that this could possibly happen, and it was the worst experience of my life. And I'm not asking for a pity party. I don't want anyone to feel sorry for me. All I'm trying to do is maybe prevent someone else from feeling the same way that I did and experiencing the things that I experienced, because I wouldn't wish that on anyone. It's horrible, and doctors should definitely spend more time discussing potential side effects, because that was the worst experience of my life. So I highly recommend you look into ways to treating your depression and anxiety naturally instead of using antidepressants. So I'll give you 4 examples of things that you should look into. So the first one is L-Theanine, which is an amino acid that has been known to reduce stress and anxiety. It's a glutamate inhibitor. 5-HTP, which is basically a serotonin booster, a natural one. And then meditation. I try to meditate for 20 minutes a day, each day. It's been proven to work better than SSRIs. I'll link a study in the description about that. And the 4th one would be exercise, which also works better than antidepressants. So hopefully I prevented one person from experiencing what I did. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Peace out.